the years, I know when you guys played North Carolina, you were always very complimentary of Leaky Black in his game. Is that something you had envisioned for Zack Austin, and do you think that's a role he's kind of embracing?
Well, I wouldn't compare what I thought, with Leaky. Obviously, I uh, had a great deal of respect for him and what he brought to their basketball team and program. I've known Leaky since he was in high school, and really happy for him now with the Hornets, and him starting his professional career. Zach's a guy that we just thought was really talented, and that could do a lot. It could be this really versatile defender. I think he's still finding his way into understanding how to do that. As you move up a level or a couple of levels, the attention to detail, all of those things are just, it's more difficult, it's more challenging. And I think he's still figuring out the level of commitment and consistency every day that's required to be a good player. And so he's still an evolving player. Obviously, he had a very, very good game against Virginia Tech. Hopefully we can see some consistency with that.
Jerry DePaula, go ahead.
All right, good morning, Jeff. I'll be that guy and ask the question. Your fan base, the Oakland Zoo, does not they commit to not storming the court. What can the sport and the league do to prevent such happenings that occurred at Wake Forest on Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, it's an unfortunate situation what happened. You always want to try to protect the players and the people that are involved in the game, both sides. I've just seen highlights of it, seen clips of it. It's you would hope, especially, when you're playing certain teams, when you're playing Duke, when you're playing North Carolina, when you're playing Kentucky, Kansas, those schools like that, I think you have to anticipate, if you have them on your home court, that if your team wins, there could possibly be a court storming. I know when I worked at Duke, I think every time we lost on the road, except for at North Carolina, and I think we lost here once, here at Pitt, but I think every time we lost, there was a court storming. And normally, those places had security and people had a plan in effect to protect the players. I think that should be the thing. I'm not saying that I'm against court storming totally, but when you have situations that just happen against, Wake Forest, when you saw the situation that happened earlier in the year with Caitlin Clark, it makes me lean towards that if you can't have it under control.
Thank you.
Go next to Stephen Thompson.
Hey, Jeff, I know it was so long ago, and you guys are different. I'm sure Clemson is too, but just how much can you draw from that first matchup against them, and how much can you use to prepare for this one?
Really not much. I mean, I've gone back, I've watched some of it. It was actually really difficult to watch, just because I think we're so much better. I think they're better. It was so early. They played well. We did not play well. They made us not play well. We still had some opportunities, but I think we're very, very different now. I think they're different, and so just I like where we are right now and just excited about the opportunity to go down and play a really good team.
I'll go next to Jeff Hathorn.
Hey, Jeff, kind of building on that, do you feel like you're better post defense, better rebounding defense than that earlier? And how much is that going to be a key factor in this game tomorrow night?
Yeah, well, we need to be because we got dominated, in those two areas the last time we played them. Clemson is a really good rebounding team. They're a very good defensive team, very good. They're a very physical team, and they're a really good offensive team. And the kid Shiflin is maybe as improved as anybody in this whole league. When you look at the numbers that he's putting up, especially the rebounding numbers, he's the ultimate glue guy. You know, Jerry's probably the new Leaky Black. But he's really, really good, man. He has a great spirit about how he competes. So does PJ. Obviously, you know that with him. But we really have to do a better job defensive rebounding, defending in the post, our ball screen defense, our transition defense, because we were really bad the last time we played them in those areas.
Chris Carter, go ahead, sir.
Morning, Jeff. You guys now have the top 3-point defense in the ACC statistically, as far as the lowest percentage allowed. How have things improved since your first game against Clemson in that department, and how have you? What has led to the improvements there that you've seen from your guys?
Well, I think one of the first things, I think we've done a little bit better job of guarding the basketball, so we're not in as many rotations. We've done a better job of understanding a scouting report and personnel and being able to keep the ball in front of us. Our transition defense has been a little bit better. So I think those are the two main areas where we've improved since early December when we played them last. They had us in rotations constantly. And then we did a really poor job, especially the first half of transition defense against them. And they were able to get out and get some easy threes there. So I think one of the things we've tried to do is eliminate the easy threes. So you're getting blown by on the perimeter. All of a sudden they're spraying it out. You're in rotations. Them getting those. The offensive rebound threes, those are the easy ones. We've done a better job of rebounding the basketball and then the transition threes.
I'll go to Jim Hammett.
Jeff, I don't think Pitt has defeated Clemson in about 10 years. So what are just the general challenges of going up against a Brad Brownell coach team?
Well, number one, they're well coached. They're going to be really, really physical. They're going to be very efficient offensively. They're going to make it difficult for you to run your stuff. They're very well prepared with guarding your actions. And they make you work for everything. I mean, Brad's a really, really good coach. He's done an unbelievable job at Clemson over his time. He and I go back to the CAA days when I was at VCU and he was at Wilmington. We had some unbelievable games there. He's been an outstanding coach wherever he's been, whether it's Wilmington, Wright State, and certainly the job he's done there at Clemson. I think that's what makes it difficult.
David Teal, go ahead.
Jeff, was that improved 3-point defense that Chris was referencing part of your second half surge against Virginia Tech? Because that's a tie game and intermission, and then you guys pulled away.
Yeah, I thought that was part of it. I thought we did a better job of containing the basketball, not overhelping, trying to make them take tough twos, tough contested twos. But I really think the big thing is that our offense was better in the second half. We didn't turn the basketball over as much. We had, our more traditional lineups. We had foul trouble in the first half, so we had some different lineups out there. I thought having our regular lineups and our regular rotations, I thought our offense was a lot better, and we were able just to really outscore them in the second half while holding them to only 28 points and 3 threes, for the whole game. That's a really hard team to guard. Anytime you're playing against a Mike Young team, you know how good they are all the time offensively. I thought we did a really good job defensively of guarding their stuff.
Anything else for Jeff? All right, Jeff. Thank